Hey everybody, welcome to this edition of Maples Connect. I'm masked up. Stephen is not because he is on another. He is in his office. But as y'all can see, I got a special guest with me tonight. This is better known as Super Dave. This is Dave Kirchhoff. Dave is no stranger to Maples at all. And I've invited Dave on, and we're actually, Stephen, if it's all right with you, we're going to actually talk with him early. We're going to talk with him first because he is going to volunteer helping our youth out.
Okay, go right ahead.
So good deal. Well, Dave, thanks for coming on today. Now, on Sunday, you had an announcement.
I did.
About the Maples Food Pantry. So
Yes.
before we get to that announcement, tell us first of all, for those that may not know, what is the Olive Branch Food Pantry? How does it work? All that stuff.
So as you corrected, first time you said Maples Food Pantry.
I'm sorry, the Olive Branch
Food Pantry. So the Olive Branch Food Pantry is a community food pantry that is basically, they are run by a board of directors. They are out Highway 51 and
Old 78.
Old 78.
No, I corrected
you got me. And it is just basically a place in need where families can go if they are experiencing financial difficulties or just hardships. There is really no qualifications, so that's good. It's just a place. It's an emergency resource that families can go once a month to pick up food supplies that they may need. And it's basically probably 80% of the volunteers that work at the food pantry are from churches, but there are some corporations that are involved. So General Motors has a night that they are there, and a couple of others. So, but it's all basically community volunteers that come together to collect food and then distribute food to people who need it.
Nice. So we're getting into, I served in the food pantry. I usually do the day shift,
right?
When we have that. And when COVID hit, the food pantry, as I recall, was not shut down for very long. And I know they've changed some of the way they've done some things.
Right.
How does it work now? Because it used to be the cars would have to go like how?
Yeah.
Is the question.
So actually, the food pantry, when COVID came, was probably shut down for 3-4 months.
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
okay.
it was a while. And I know there was a lot of people asking about why isn't the food pantry up and running. Mr. Doddridge, you were very instrumental in getting it back open. So thank you for asking. But I'm sorry, I forgot your question now.
No, I was just wondering, how are they limiting contact
okay.
in the midst of the pandemic? I was just curious.
So basically what we're doing now is typically they had clients that would come in and would shop for like fresh vegetables and things that the food pantry had. And then we took food out to them in their car. So what they've done now is we basically are categorizing families in 2 ways, either a large family or a small family. And so they are packing up large boxes in advance. And so really working at the food pantry right now, it is just, they have cars come into the parking lot. They are checked in by the folks at the food pantry. So we're really not involved with that. And then they come around to the front door, and then we give them just basically a box of food. It's one of those big boxes.
Oh yeah.
And we're just basically loading it in for them right now. So it doesn't take as many people right now to volunteer at the food pantry. It used to be like my Sunday school class would volunteer, and we usually have 10 to 12 people there. Right now, we're running at about just like 4 or 5 people to volunteer, and the way the food pantry is operating right now, that's actually a good number. So, people like to volunteer at the food pantry, and that's great. We'd love to have people come down there, but they don't really need as many people volunteering this
Mhm.
time as they need food.
Right. So a typical shift is what, 5, 6 people?
Yeah, right now about 4 or 5
Okay.
people.
And the age limit, there's no age limit to
There is
serve?
no age limit. One of the things that's really nice, and I will give a shout out to Maples folks.
Right.
A lot of times we'll get, we'll have a volunteer from our group that's working, and then we get people that come in from outside organizations. So kids that need school volunteering
Mhm.
points or things
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
service hours. Yeah.
Service hours, and
Yeah.
so they'll drop by and participate with us.
Oh,
And
nice.
one of the nice things when I talked to Sheila Sneed there at the food pantry is that whenever those volunteers come in and they join our group, Maples always makes them feel very welcome.
Awesome.
And she said that's not the case with not a lot of other groups,
Oh.
but she said Maples, again, great shout out that we always make people feel welcome and be a part of the group to help out.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So since you don't need as many volunteers, and Stephen, you can jump in with a question too. I don't want to take away your thunder there, buddy. But since there's not as many volunteers needed, but there's a lot of food, is there anything specific that they are asking us to donate?
Well, we just had the all hands meeting, which is every 6-month meeting. We kind of meet as a group and just kind of review how the food pantry is going. And, they haven't had really as many clients come through. I'm not sure why that is, but because there's a lot of people in need, but there are also a lot of resources out there right now during the pandemic that are helping people. So I think people are taking advantage of those resources. But, the one thing actually that we as a church really haven't done as well right now is actually supporting the food pantry with food.
Right.
We've been there to volunteer, to help out, but with us not coming to church as often, and we also had the food pantry basket down the hall instead of up here in the narthex.
And now it's back up here.
We haven't really been doing as well as we used to do in donating food. So I would ask that people that are watching now, even though maybe we don't need as many people at the food pantry, we need the food. Okay. And so in talking to the food pantry folks there, we kind of thought, well, maybe a really good thing for Maples to do is each month focus on a few food groups to support them.
Yeah.
So what we're doing for this next month is our main focus is going to be peanut butter and cornbread. Now, if you want to bring other stuff, that's great. They will never turn it away. And whatever you want to bring, that's great. Stephen, I know you have lots of food and recipes and things like that you could probably share as well. But right now for this month, we're going to focus on peanut butter and cornbread. So we'd like to have people bring as much as you can. We have the basket out by the narthex.
Well, it's
the
information desk area, the red wall, the giving wall.
The giving wall. I'm glad to see we have the giving wall back.
Well,
that's great.
I've put it back because I'm going to actually talk about Matthew 25 Ministries a little later, homeless ministry, which is the bin right next to you.
Okay.
To that one.
Yep.
You're right. It seems like the last time I took a substantial amount of food was right after Vacation Bible School. Because that's when it got full. And I know your daughter and Joel and myself, we think we just piled it all in my truck and then just went.
Right.
And we had a little bit of everything. But it's good to hear because peanut butter, especially for those of y'all that have Sam's or Costco memberships, and you can buy peanut butter in bulk. I know Stephen buys peanut butter in bulk because he has peanut butter for breakfast every day, right? Right? Just a peanut butter sandwich. That's your breakfast.
It has been, although lately I am eating. Well, since we started back to school this fall, it has switched over from peanut butter sandwich to scavenge, meaning I scavenge what my children leave before they walk out the door. I eat the leftovers just because I don't like waste. Andrew's got in the habit of he's mixing up this protein powder with
Mm.
oatmeal and water, and it's really good actually.
Nope. Nope.
But now let me be clear. We are not going to be suggesting to these people that are coming to the homeless shelter that they actually put peanut butter on their cornbread, right?
No. Now we like it in the box or in the jar. So
Cornbread
that,
mix.
yeah, cornbread mix.
I believe there's a papal encyclical against that.
If there is, I haven't studied it yet, Stephen. But, so peanut butter, if y'all have a Costco and Sam's membership, you can buy that in bulk. Any brands. And
Andy Pressman brought some by today. He put in the comment section. So
Thank
shout
you.
out to Pressman. Good job.
Good job. Thank you, Andy. But let's talk a little bit about the bin out here.
Yep.
So that's where we can, I guess a better question might be to ask, what does not go in the bin? Like what can the food pantry not accept?
Basically perishable type things. So, for example, bread and other things, juice, milk, things like that. We don't typically take to the food pantry, but anything that you can store, for a while, cereal, rice, vegetables, peanut butter and jelly, all the staples, if you will,
Sure.
and even like fabric softener, soap,
Oh, okay. I was wondering
things
about
like that.
toiletries and yeah.
Toiletries are a very nice thing for
Okay.
the food pantry to get. They are essentials that you don't necessarily think of that people need, but yeah, that's very good stuff as well. So anything that's really not perishable. Now,
Okay.
on the perishable side, see, they get food from Walmart and Kroger's and some other places. So they get the fresh
Meats,
stuff. They
meats
get
and
they get the
yeah.
meats, they get fresh vegetables, spinach, all that good stuff, bread. So they have that stuff from those folks to distribute.
They
out.
also they'll also get sometimes drops of
Yes.
food from America's Second Harvest and Memphis Food Bank.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. So
That's
they're kind of
cool.
covered that way, but there is some waste there because maybe not all that fresh stuff gets taken each week. But so again, for us to support them more on a long-term
Mhm.
basis, it's packaged food.
So if you are, if you're in quarantine, if you're still being cautious about getting out, and you want to know a good way to serve your community, serve your people in need, food donations, and if you can't make it up here, you can drop it off if you can't make it up here on Sunday, you can drop it off at the church office.
Yep.
And then I'll make sure it gets into the bin out there, because I would like to challenge us to fill that bin of the items required. Canned goods of any
Yes.
kind, macaroni and cheese, I know is popular, but you heard cornbread mix, which y'all could tell it's fall when we're looking for cornbread mix, and peanut butter, and just avoid the perishables. I'll make sure it gets into that bin. So if you want to,
Let me throw something in on the
Yeah, go
cornbread
ahead.
mix. If you can buy the cornbread mix, that all you do is add water. That will be more helpful to them.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yep.
If you get the ones where you have to add the eggs and the oil and all that,
Yeah.
again, that's
Good.
something they may or may not have. If you can
Yep.
get the all-inclusive cornbread mix, I think Jiffy makes some.
Yep.
That's the kind of stuff you want.
Remix. Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, so y'all heard it here. Donate. The bins are in the information desk.
Yep.
Hey,
Yep.
Sam, would you and
Yeah.
Dave talk about how else that they can get involved with, like the little pantry out there? What's the difference between donating to the Olive Branch Food Pantry and the little pantry that we have, the box that's out there outside the entrance leading to the YMCA?
Okay. So obviously, the Olive Branch Food Pantry is a registered organization. It's got the tax code and all of that. And again, people are limited there to go once a month. Folks here, we have put outside the small little food pantry that we support. And I know there are signups via.
Yeah.
what is-
So, well, I mean, Denise Treadway
Right.
has done a great job in organizing that for us. But as far as the contents of that, it's kind of the same as the food pantry, but it's very, very little of it. You can get just your basic staples.
Yeah.
Yes, you can sign up. There's a sign up genius link on our website, but really what's been happening, Dave, as folks have gone grocery shopping, and as this church is on their way home from the grocery store, pretty much everywhere, even if you live around here, live down south, they swing by and they stock it. I mean, every time I get to church more, somebody is putting food in there, just because they have extra to give, and that's just amazing generosity. So,
but the other part of that is, quickly as we stock it, it
it
usually
gets emptied. Yes, it
emptied.
does not
So
stay for
there
long.
is a need out there that, maybe we don't recognize it as much, but people can come to our little food pantry as often as they want to.
So,
And it's a great ministry, and I really applaud the church and Denise Treadway for getting that started. And I think that's just a great thing that we have going.
take what you can, leave what you can. Or
Yes.
take what you want, leave what you can, I think is what it is. So,
Yep.
What else did you want to say, Dave?
I did want to talk about one other thing, is that typically at the Olive Branch Food Pantry, they have a Christmas gift
Oh, yeah.
for their patrons that come there. Now, typically in the past, we have donated extra food. They've had turkeys, they're large, items. Last year, I know we collected soap and shaving cream and toiletries, and so they gave those out as gift bags. This year, again, with the pandemic kind of limiting some of the stuff that we can give, what the food pantry is doing this year is they're going to give their patrons a gift card. So whatever they can scrape together, they're going to put those on gift cards and be able to hand those out as kind of a Christmas bonus to the folks that come during the month of December. So they are asking all of the organizations that support the food pantry to try to step up and just, donate some cash so that they can go out and get gift cards in order to give those out to the patrons that come. So the other night in the meeting that we had, they kind of challenged us, and they said, Maples, if you guys could raise $3,000 for us to use to buy gift cards, that would be such a blessing.
All right.
And so that's kind of our goal. We want to raise at least $3,000. And I already had somebody that stopped me in church and gave me a check. So we are already started towards that. So I really appreciate that. And I know the food pantry and the patrons of the food pantry would really appreciate that. So Maples, we want to really step up and just show what we can do for this community. So if you can help us to raise that $3,000, it would really be appreciated.
That's awesome. Wow. Stephen, did you have a question about that?
No, I'm scratching my eye. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It's the teacher in me. I still see people raising their hands, all that kind of stuff. Last question, Dave, real quick, and it's kind of off the subject. Just because we were talking about it right before we came on the air about your Sunday school class. You, of course, teach Joy Seekers.
Yep.
And you went hybrid.
I did.
Just like I did. So
that was exciting.
So, and for those y'all don't know what hybrid is, I'm using that word a lot in college and seminary. You have actually a fairly big class.
Yep.
And of course, right now we are temporarily located in other locations throughout the building because of the pandemic and limiting our space. But to get more involvement, you've gone online and in person.
Right.
So share with us just briefly, because I know your time's almost up, but how that went this weekend.
Oh, it was fantastic. We've been struggling. I've been struggling because, we haven't had a large group of people come back yet. And I was trying to look at how do I reach out? How do I get other people involved that may not feel comfortable in coming back to church yet? And
or it's because of these things.
That too.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yes, you're right. And it was really neat because I am not a computer guy. I am not. And I thank Brendan Ballard so much for helping me out. But we were able to figure out how that because our class is typically using a video as well as discussion. And so between the computer that I had and getting an extra disk drive and an extra this and an extra that, Brennan was able to help me. So we were able to have class in person and virtually and be able to watch videos and have a discussion on that. And I was just like, woo, it was great.
Nice.
And I love it. It was just so good to see more people get
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
And for
Coming back
people
to-
that really are, really at risk, it's a great option to stay connected with your Sunday school class.
It is.
Or
It is.
for people, I hate this thing, but I wear it because it helps. It reduces the rate of spread of the infection. But I know that there have been members of our congregation who said, I'm not coming back into worship or in there as long as I got to wear this. It smothers me. I don't want to hear it singing through a muffled mask. And I that's perfectly okay.
Yeah.
But for people that don't feel like they can get out because they're even a mask, even with distancing, they're scared.
Right.
Or for those of us that are like, I don't want to deal with it. It kills me. I have to wear it to work, but I don't want to wear it in my church on Sunday. We have the option that you can dial in and do it online, which is, great options for that.
Yeah.
We just want to be able to provide a niche for everybody wherever they're at in the
There you
whole
go. There you go.
pandemic response.
Perfect example, Stephen. You're in another room and you're by yourself, thus your mask is off. Dave and I are right next to each other and we are masked. So, and so.
And I can hear you pretty good. That's actually really good.
Well, I'm wearing these disposable ones. My big cloth mask muffles my voice a lot more. So I decided for this, we would just wear the disposable ones.
So-
And so, of course, we're not socially distanced because we're on camera, but that's why we have the mask on. So we're meeting in person, whereas Stephen, you're meeting us virtually.
Right.
So there's your difference.
Right.
And
And if
I have that much between.
you don't have one of these, we have some out that you can have.
And the
Yep.
kids have them now too.
Yeah, we got kid size and these size. But
Yep.
if you're like me and you're like, they get hot, they get wet, I breathe heavy. I sneezed in my mask the other day.
Well, that's, yeah.
And if you're just like, I don't want to deal with it, man, I get it. But we got you covered.
That's true.
Yeah. That's
Well,
so
Dave, I appreciate you coming on. I know you've got to get outside now, and we appreciate your service with the food pantry and helping Joel with
and
youth
helping with the youth.
and youth ministry and being Super Dave and VBS and just all sorts of things, Dave. So we really appreciate it. I
Well, thank you,
appreciate
Sam. I
coming.
appreciate it. I've been truly blessed, and
And Sarah's been a blessing to us too, working with our
Yep.
children. So thank you.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we'll hopefully get her on next week. Talk about more about trunk or treat because
I'm sure you get roped into doing something with everything that we do. So
that's okay. I enjoy it.
that's what you do for your kids, don't you?
Yep.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, Dave. Thank
All
you,
right.
buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks, bud.
Appreciate it.
Now, as Dave exits the room, I'm going to take my mask off because now I'm alone. Okay, there we go. Whew. You're right, Stephen. That does get a little hot.
Mine may be full of hot air, but mine gets moist inside. Like I have to switch mine out every several hours because if I have it on for the full time, it's like moist. And I hate that word moist.
Yeah, it's not a fun word. I absolutely love Dave. Dave's been a good friend for a long time and does some good work for the church. And in his family, he's just a great guy. All right, Stephen, well, let's start what we've got tonight. And for those of y'all that are watching, if you're watching live or later, again, please tell your friends, tell fellow congregants about this show, because this is kind of taking place of long drawn out announcements that we usually have. Here we can kind of talk about not just the what, but also the how and the why, which I really, really like. This
Give you a
show
lot more information.
According to Brennan, who is our producer, he has told me that Maples Connect is still our highest rated series of videos. It's the most watched. So we know you're engaging with us. And Maples Connect, I'm just grateful because this was a brainchild of yours, Stephen. It's carried us through the pandemic. It's carrying us through the pandemic. We're not through it yet, but and I really appreciate that.
It is the best place to know what's going on in the life of your church. That's
it. We've been able to.
You know who is more informed about what's going on in the life of the church than anybody in our church probably right now?
Probably my friend Robert Toby.
Robert Toby, because he's there every week. So if you want to know what's going on in the church, call Toby. He's probably got it figured out.
And Toby hadn't set foot in here since March. So, I mean, but he knows more about it than anybody. we appreciate it, Toby, and know that we're praying for you and Rose. I know y'all are kind of going through all that stuff, but we
He
really
posted
appreciate
earlier
it.
that Rose is feeling better and he is still no symptoms.
Okay, well, good. COVID doesn't know what it's up against. So,
No.
absolutely. All right, so Stephen, I've got a quiz for us. See, we like to do fun stuff like quizzes just to break the mood a little bit. So, all right, let's see what we got here. Are you there? You're freezing up on me.
Bring it on.
Okay. I hate that.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I hear you just fine. My connection is not good, so bear with me. Okay. Here is our quiz. This is called Name That Hymn. You ready to play Name That Hymn, Stephen? Is everybody watching ready to play Name That Hymn?
Let me open up Hymnody on my cell phone.
All right. So everybody can guess. I'm going to read a couple of the lyrics and y'all tell me what the hymn is.
This Name That Tune, I can do it in 3 seconds.
Yeah, but I'm not actually going to sing or play anything. I'm just going to say lyrics. So
well, maybe that's a blessing in disguise.
It is. Believe me. All right, here we go. And I'm not giving away the title because most hymns, their title is the first line. So I'm not going to use the first line. If anything, I'll start with the second verse, or at least after the title. Here we go. Let's start it with an easy one here. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now
found. Was blind, but now I see. Amazing Grace.
Oh, we didn't give our audience a chance to answer. You look at you trying to hijack the game. All right, let's do another easy one. All right, here we go. Oh Lord, my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made. Give y'all just a few seconds.
I hear the rolling thunder. Consider all the works thy hands have made.
Boy, I'm finna mute you.
And sings my soul.
Hey, Andy got it right.
Who did?
How great thou art. Andy got it right.
Great job.
Good job. All right, here we go. Are you ready? Here's the next one. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll.
Whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say.
Yeah, taught me to say. Let's take a look. Andy's winning so far. Well, let's take a look here. Take a few more seconds. I think the singing actually is helping.
It does.
So that's kind of cool. All right, 5 more seconds in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is it?
It is well with my soul.
It is well with my soul. Good. All right, here we go. O Lord of my heart, not be all else to me save that thou art. Thou my best thought by day or by night, waking or sleeping, thy presence my light.
Okay, read it all again to me one more time.
Okay. O Lord of my heart, not be all else to me save that thou art.
Thou and thou only.
You got it. Let's take it.
I don't remember all the words, but
you got the tune right. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and what it is.
I don't remember the title. I don't.
Be thou
my vision.
My vision. All right, good deal. Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, actually, there's
And-
about what people don't know is that a lot of our hymns can be sung to different tunes. If they have, Joey showed me this the other day, if you look on your hymnal, they have a code at the bottom, and if it's got the same code, you can sing it. And didn't know that, but like, you know, a lot of tunes can be sung to, a lot of hymns can be sung to that tune.
That's right.
Little piece of trivia.
That's good. That's right. I learned that in licensing school. I'm surprised you didn't know that.
Joey taught me that.
Okay. And the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace.
Oh, I gotta quit singing. Whew, that was bad. I was so off key. I had cats walleye.
That's a great tune, though. And let's
Joey
see.
was listening to me, he'd be having a walleye fit.
Okay, are we ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is it?
Be thou my vision.
No, we've already done that one.
Oh, that was sing it. Tell me to again. I completely forgot it already. Your words. It's just when you know when you got a brain about this big, and attention span about that big.
And the things of earth will strangely dim.
Turn your eyes upon Jesus.
There you go. Turn your eyes upon Jesus. Okay. All right, here we go. I rose, went forth, and followed thee. I'm sorry, my chains fell off. My heart
was free. I rose, went forth, and followed thee. The Asbury Seminary fight song.
Yes, it is. And a Charles Wesley special.
Yeah, my favorite one.
3,000, anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 hymns are credited to either Charles or both Charles and John Wesley.
That is the best one.
Yeah.
Well, unless you count the Christmas ones. Some of the Christmas ones are good.
Well, Hark the Herald Angels Sing is a Wesley special. You know, Charles Wesley wrote
several Advent Christmas tide.
Yeah. Wesley wrote a lot of, he wrote poems, and that's basically what hymns are, is they're poems set to music. And in many cases, the music was added.
Charles would take some of those poems and set them to music.
Yes, he would. Even though, did you know Charles Wesley was actually a terrible singer?
I didn't.
Yeah, he could not carry a tune. And I don't know that John was much better. So, all right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stephen, I know you're waiting to answer this one. It's one of my favorite hymns also.
And can it be that I should gain a measure in my Savior's blood? Died he for me who caused his pain? I'm not going to sing that next section because I have a tendency to not stay on pitch in it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a powerful hymn. And so
my chains fell off. My heart was free. I rose, went forth, and followed thee.
Yep.
You ought to have been in Estes Chapel at Asbury. My first year at Asbury. And opening convocation. Actually, I think we did that in the gymnasium because we had so many students. And you had 600 seminarians singing that song at the top of their lungs. I thought I'd been raptured and gone on to heaven.
Wow.
It's just incredible. And every opening convocation, we sang that.
Stephen, on that note, would you pray for us?
Yeah. Father God, we invite you into this space, and we thank you for Dave and the work that's going on in our food pantries and with our youth ministry and our children's ministry and in all other areas of the church. We ask you to bless us indeed. Bless his Sunday school class and all of our Sunday school classes, and bless our worship services. Help us to seek your face. In your name we pray. Amen.
All right. Hey, Stephen, we've got something. We have a message that went out yesterday to those people that are choosing to worship with us at home this Sunday. Obviously, we're still obviously having in-person worship. But for those that are at home, we have a request for you to have on hand. And they are, once again, a candle, a means to light the candle, an index card, or any kind of piece of paper, right, Stephen? And then something to write with. And that's all we're telling you. You have to wait till the sermon. So, anyway, Stephen, let's, this weekend, we're going to try this work day again, aren't we?
Yeah, it should be dry. Let me check my weather real quick on my phone here.
Should be cooler too, I think.
Let's see. We're looking at Saturday.
8 a.m.
It is set to be cloudy with a high of 62 on Saturday.
I'll take it.
Low of 55. So it should be cool and cloudy. Should be a perfect day for an outdoor work day. And so we're going to invite you to come out, bring hedge clippers, trimmers, weed eaters, edgers, pressure washers, because I'm from Northeast Mississippi. So a pressure washer, anything with like, if you got gloves, might be pulling some stuff up. And so, yeah.
It's a job for everybody. So, and it's all outside. We may have some folks working in our utility, whatever you call that room, the maintenance room. Yeah, down there. We're not going to be inside on the Wesley Hall side because the Ark is doing Social Saturday there as well. But they're not going to start until a little bit later, so we should be okay. But 8 o'clock, bring all that stuff Stephen said. Stephen, can we make some coffee?
Yeah.
Good deal. I'm gonna have some coffee.
Somebody will have to be there to serve it. The thing with coffee is you can't have a bunch of people coming up to the same communal pot. What you'll have to do is have somebody there saying, "Could I get you a cup of coffee?" So if the only thing you really want to do is do that, show up at 7:45, help Sam make the coffee, and hand out the coffee and the food item that we will provide, and say, "Would you like a cup of coffee and a sausage and biscuit, or a burrito from Sonic, or whatever we are able to have there."
Awesome. So hope to see y'all. Should be a lot of fun. And
will the coffee be strong?
You bet. I'll make it as strong as you want. Yeah. So as long as we get her done, the more people, the quicker it'll take. So, Stephen, we're going to talk a little bit more about this next week.
One other thing is, if anybody has a wheelbarrow, please bring it.
Oh, I can bring mine if I need to. Yeah.
We probably could use a couple of wheelbarrows.
Got it. We're going to talk about drive-through trunk or treat more next week, but we still
need candy. Lots of candy.
Well, Sarah's office is slowly but surely becoming a candy depository, which is good. We need more, but also we need trunks, right, Stephen?
Yeah, we need a bunch of. It's going to be really sad if we got all this candy and one family out there or one trunk out there passing out candy. It makes it slower too. So we really need to have some families. It'll be so fun to come out 3 to 5, dress your kids up, let them be a part of it, and let them help hand out the candy.
There you go. And we'll bring Sarah on next week if she's available to talk more about it as we get closer to it. So, Stephen, I want you to talk for a minute about, we got Election Day coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And so this Sunday, we're going to have a whiteboard set up in the Narthex region with dry erase markers. On that whiteboard, say it again.
Tell people what the Narthex is in case they don't know.
That's the main entrance where you come in to get your temperature checked and your mask and all that stuff. There will be a whiteboard out there with dry erase markers, and on that whiteboard, you'll see time slots starting 6 a.m., 6:30, 7, all the way until 9 p.m.
So in 30-minute increments.
30-minute increments for you to sign up to commit to 30 minutes of prayer on Election Day.
Do I have to come to the church to pray?
Oh, you can pray where you're at, and that'd actually be fine. But we want to do a prayer.
Can I come to the church, or should I just pray where I'm at?
Just pray where you're at.
Okay.
Yeah. It's basically a prayer chain. If you can commit to 30 minutes on Election Day, the earliest polls open up at 6 a.m. our time, and the latest ones, at least in the continental United States, close at 9 p.m. So 15 hours of prayer, 30-minute slots. So please sign up on that. And we might we'll probably explain it briefly on Sunday, but I want to go ahead and get that out there as well. So this, whenever it's an election year, it's always a good time for prayer and things like that. And leading up to the election, we'll probably go into more detail about all that. But so if you want to commit to 30 minutes of prayer, please pray about it and then sign up on the whiteboard, and then till we fill all the slots, right, Stephen?
And we'll have some more announcements about a prayer service for the election in our country, and it will, in all likelihood, be virtual the night before, so that people can access it. And we may do it 2 nights before. We may run it a couple of nights in a row so that more people can have access to it. And one of the concerns that we have is that we have members of our population that do not drive after dark. And so one of the things we want to do is to be able to offer it online so that they can participate, even though you may not drive at night. And I know that's a school night too. It's kind of craziness. So in all likelihood, we're going to have an online version of a prayer service for the country. And so be paying attention. We should have something rolling out on that also after Monday or Tuesday of next week.
All right. Sounds good. All right. What else do we got?
Camp Lake Stevens, youth retreats. We got a junior high and a senior high retreat coming up in November. We do have a few slots in both of those available. So please sign up and go. It is safe. We just got through taking our kids down there and they had a ball. Our youth are going to have a ball. Our youth will have a whole cabin to themselves, both sides. Nobody else in our cabin but us. I think it'll be a great weekend. It'll be a Saturday and Sunday. I think they'll really be blessed. They're going to be back-to-back weekends, one weekend for junior high, one weekend for senior high. I think it'll be really blessed.
Yeah, and Joel sent out a reminder today saying that those slots have opened up, but he probably needs to know really, really soon, because the official deadline, the first deadline was Friday, this past Friday. And so now these have opened up. I don't recall if his tweet said something about his remind message said something about that when he needs to know, but contact Joel for more information. Email joel@mapleschurch.org. It's a $95 cost. And as Stephen said,
and if anybody can't pay that, if that's an issue, we'll get you covered.
We will do it. Yep. And so
don't let money be the reason your kid doesn't go.
Yes, that's right.
We can make that happen.
Absolutely. November 13th through 15th is junior high, and then November 20th through 22nd is the senior high one. So that's coming, and it's camp, and it's the fall, and that's the best time to go to camp, in my opinion. So another one, I wanted to talk a little bit just briefly about the Matthew 25 Homeless Ministry, which is led by Reverend Greg Hazelrig from Pleasant Hill United Methodist Church, and I think he's at Baker's Chapel. I think it's his little church. And Greg, many of y'all are familiar with Greg's great work that he does. Every Tuesday night, he and his crew, they go to downtown Memphis to feed the homeless, and also provide them with anything that's necessary. He came up here the other day and looked at our homeless ministry bin. Earlier in the broadcast, Dave was talking about the food pantry has a bin over by the giving wall, and next to it is the homeless ministry bin. Now, a lot of people are putting all sorts of things in the homeless ministry bin, so I kind of want to narrow that down to what the needs are based on that time of year. The main two things that we really need to fill that bin with are socks and blankets. Socks and blankets. He says those are the two items right there that they're always in need of. Now, they're also always in need of toiletries. So you could put some toiletries in the food pantry basket, and if you have any extras, you can put them in the homeless ministry bin. But we're needing socks and blankets are kind of the big ones right now to continue to support Pastor Greg. He does some great work with that. So anyway, let's see, what else do we have on the agenda? Birthday shout outs. Let's do some birthday shout outs. It's getting near supper time, isn't it? I think that was my stomach I heard grumbling. So Today's birthday. Today we have Bailey Walhood.
Happy birthday, Bailey.
Happy birthday, Bailey. I hope things are going well. I guess she's still at Mississippi State. I think that's right.
Well,
Susan, yeah. Susan Evans, happy birthday to you. And another former student of mine, Michelle Sitton. Happy birthday to you, Michelle. Friday, who do we got Friday? We got Appy Seidel and Ruth Duke. Happy birthday, Ruth. Saturday, we got a big birthday Saturday, don't we, Stephen?
Yeah, Trey Coughlin.
Right.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you, Trey. We don't have a single birthday on Sunday or Monday of next week, but Tuesday we have two. And want to say happy birthday to Don Brown and
Steven Sutton. Happy birthday, Steve.
All right. Happy birthday, Steve. We really appreciate it. I saw Steve today. His prayer life group meets up here on Wednesday early afternoons. And just a lot of good work that Steve's doing. Stephen, that's all I had. Did you have anything else?
Victory. We made it through it.
We did. And the internet stayed for the most part. So
I always get nervous with the internet.
Well, because you and I are sharing bandwidth right now.
That's what makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Is me and you sharing bandwidth. And my daughters are in the next room sharing bandwidth on their iPad.
That's what I've been hearing. They're on their iPads. Gotcha. Well, guys, join Stephen tomorrow night at 6:00 for his devotional, and also on Friday night. You can join me Saturday morning, 7 a.m. I'm actually going to be broadcasting here from the church, getting ready for the workday. So that'll be kind of neat. Do the sunrise at the church. I haven't done that before. So know that God loves you.
And we do too.
Hope you have a great evening. God bless you.
See ya.